I found my daughter's phone at 2 in the morning. The text said, "Your mom is such a sucker. You're really gonna milk this forever." I opened it. What I found made me realize I'd been playing for an entire year. If you've ever given everything to someone who took advantage of you, hit that subscribe button. This is a story of how I finally stopped being my daughter's ATM. My name is Barbara. I'm 52 years old, and I've been married to my husband Gary for 30 years. We live in a small 3-bedroom house in the suburbs. We're not rich, but we're comfortable. Or at least we used to be. My daughter Amanda is 26. She has 5 children. 5. And they all have different fathers. I know what you're thinking. And you're right. I should have seen this coming. I should have taught her better. I should have been a stronger parent when she was younger. Believe me, I've spent countless nights lying awake thinking about where I went wrong. But right now, I'm paying the price for all those mistakes. Last year, everything fell apart for Amanda. She just had twins, her 4th and 5th children. Beautiful baby girls named Rebecca and Amy. But 2 weeks after they were born, their father Jeffrey just disappeared. Packed his stuff one night and left. No goodbye. No child support. Nothing. A month later, Amanda lost her job at the grocery store. She called me crying, saying she had nowhere to go. She had 3 older kids, Ryan who's 8, Melissa who's 6, and little Dorothy who's 4, plus the newborn twins. She was desperate. "Mom, please," she begged over the phone. "Just temporarily. Just until I get back on my feet. I promise it won't be long." What was I supposed to say? These were my grandchildren. I couldn't let them live on the streets. So I said yes. That was my first mistake. Amanda moved in with all 5 kids. Our small house suddenly felt like a daycare center. Toys everywhere. Diapers piling up. The noise was constant. But I told myself it was temporary. That she'd find a job soon and move out. That was a year ago. For the first few months, I actually believed she was trying. She'd talk about job interviews, about applications she'd filled out, about how hard it was to find something that worked with her schedule. But slowly, I started noticing things. She never woke up before noon. Never. Meanwhile, Gary and I were up at 6 every morning, getting the older kids ready for school, feeding the babies, changing diapers. By the time Amanda finally came downstairs, we'd already done half a day's work. And when did she wake up? She'd grab her phone and scroll. For hours. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Just endless scrolling while I made lunch for the kids. "Amanda, did you apply to any jobs today?" I'd ask. "I'm looking, Mom. It's just really hard right now." The bills started piling up. 5 extra people in the house meant our grocery bill tripled. The water bill doubled. The electric bill went up. We were suddenly spending money we didn't have on diapers, baby formula, school supplies for Ryan and Melissa, clothes the kids kept growing out of. Gary and I both had to take on second jobs just to keep up. I started cleaning houses on weekends. Gary picked up night shifts doing security at a warehouse. We were exhausted, constantly tired, running on 4 hours of sleep most nights. And Amanda, still sleeping till noon. Then, 3 months ago, things got worse. Amanda started dating someone new. His name was Brandon. He was 28, worked part-time at some pizza place, and within 2 weeks of them dating, he moved into our house too. I didn't even know he was moving in. I just came home from work one day, and there he was, sitting on my couch, playing video games. "Mom, this is Brandon," Amanda said casually, like it was completely normal. "Hi," he said, not even looking up from the TV screen. So now we had 7 extra people in our house. And Brandon didn't contribute anything either. He played video games all day while I worked 2 jobs. He ate our food, used our electricity, took long showers that drove up our water bill. I tried talking to Amanda about it. "Honey, this isn't working. We can't afford to support all of you. You need to start helping out." "I know, Mom. I'm trying. It's just really hard to find a job right now." But she wasn't trying. She was out with friends twice a week, getting her nails done, going to restaurants. Meanwhile, I was eating instant ramen for dinner to save money. I felt trapped, like I was drowning and nobody cared. Then came last week, Amanda's 26th birthday. She wanted to have a party at the house. I was too tired to argue, so I said yes. She invited about 15 people. Friends from high school. Some cousins. A few people I didn't even recognize. The house was packed. Music was playing. People were laughing and drinking. I stayed in the kitchen, cleaning up after everyone, feeling completely invisible. Then Amanda called everyone into the living room. "I have a surprise," she announced, grinning from ear to ear. My stomach immediately dropped. I knew. I just knew. Everyone gathered around her. Brandon stood next to her with his arm around her waist. The room went quiet. Amanda took a deep breath and smiled. "I'm pregnant." The room exploded. People are screaming, cheering, hugging her, congratulating Brandon. I felt like I was going to throw up. Pregnant. Again. 6 kids. Probably 6 different fathers at this rate. And she expected me to just keep paying for everything. I couldn't breathe. I walked out of the living room and went upstairs to my bedroom. I sat on the edge of the bed with my head in my hands, trying not to cry. How did it get this bad? How did I let it get this bad? I heard footsteps on the stairs. It was Gary. "You okay?" he asked quietly. "No," I said. "I'm not okay. This is insane, Gary. We can't do this anymore." "I know," he said. He sat down next to me and put his arm around my shoulders. "But what are we supposed to do? Kick her out? Kick out the kids?" "I don't know," I whispered. "I just don't know." The party went on downstairs. Music. Laughter. Like nothing was wrong. I couldn't sleep that night. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, listening to the house creak and settle. My mind was racing. How were we going to afford another baby? We were already stretched so thin. Gary and I barely had time to breathe, let alone take care of another infant. Around 2 a.m, I gave up on sleep. I went downstairs to get some water. The house was finally quiet. Everyone had left. Amanda and Brandon were asleep upstairs. I walked into the kitchen and filled a glass from the sink. That's when I saw it. Amanda's phone. Sitting on the counter. The screen was lit up with a notification. I almost ignored it. Almost. But something made me look. The notification was a text message from someone named Melissa, one of Amanda's high school friends. It said, "LOL, your mom is such a sucker. You're really gonna milk this forever." I opened the messages. What I found made my blood run cold. There was a group chat. Amanda and 4 of her friends. The chat name was Living My Best Life. I scrolled through the messages. My hands were shaking. Amanda, honestly, living rent-free with a personal nanny is the dream, LOL. Melissa, your mom really does everything for you, haha. Amanda, I know, right? She works 2 jobs, watches the kids, pays all the bills. I literally just sleep and hang out. Rebecca, that's insane. My mom would have kicked me out by now. Amanda, mine feels guilty about not raising me right, so she'll never kick me out. I can literally keep having kids, and she'll keep paying for everything. It's the perfect setup. I felt sick. Physically sick. My own daughter. Laughing about me. Using me. Planning to keep using me. I kept scrolling. There were screenshots of her Venmo account. Payments from Jeffrey D. and Eric M. 2 of her exes. Child support payments. Hundreds of dollars every month. Money she never told me about. Money she was supposed to be using for the kids. Instead, there were more screenshots. Receipts from restaurants. Bars. Nail salons. Clothing stores. She'd been getting child support for months and spending it on herself while I worked myself to death to pay for her kids' food and diapers. There were photos, too. Amanda out at restaurants with her friends. Amanda at bars. Amanda getting her nails done. All with captions like treating myself and self-care Sunday. Meanwhile, I'd been eating ramen and working 60 hours a week. I scrolled back further in the chat. Amanda, thinking about having another baby TBH. Melissa, girl, are you serious? Amanda, why not? My mom will take care of it. LOL. Plus Brandon wants kids. Rebecca, your mom is literally a saint. Amanda, or a sucker, LOL. But whatever works. I took screenshots of everything. Every message. Every photo. Every receipt. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold the phone. I sent all the screenshots to my own phone. Then I put Amanda's phone back exactly where I found it. I went back upstairs. Gary was still asleep. I sat on the edge of the bed in the dark, staring at my phone, reading through the screenshots again and again. My own daughter thought I was a sucker. My own daughter was planning to keep using me for the rest of her life. Something inside me snapped. I wasn't going to be a sucker anymore. The next morning, I woke up with a plan. I waited until Gary woke up and showed him the screenshots. His face went red with anger. "Are you kidding me?" he said. "She's been getting child support this whole time?" "Apparently," I said. "What are we going to do?" "I'm ending this," I said. "Today." I got dressed and drove to a lawyer's office. I explained the situation and asked what my options were. "She's not on your lease?" the lawyer asked. "No. She's just staying with us. Then you can give her a 30-day eviction notice. After that, if she refuses to leave, you can file for legal eviction." "What about the kids?" "You can file for grandparents' rights. Visitation only. But she has to leave your property." I paid the lawyer to draft the eviction notice. Then I went to the bank and printed out a full year's worth of expenses. Every grocery bill, every utility payment, every school supplies purchases, every diaper, everything. The total came to $47,000. $47,000 that Gary and I had spent on Amanda and her kids while she partied and got her nails done. I put everything in a folder. The eviction notice, the expense report, printed copies of her Venmo transactions, printed screenshots of her text messages. Then I went home. Amanda was still asleep. It was almost 11 in the morning. I knocked on her bedroom door. Loud. "Amanda." "Living room." "Now." "Family meeting." I heard her groan. "Mom, I'm sleeping." "Now," I said. My voice was cold, hard. 5 minutes later, she came downstairs in her pajamas, hair messy, phone in hand. Brandon stayed in bed. Gary was already sitting in the living room. Amanda plopped down on the couch, yawning. "What's this about?" she asked, annoyed. I stood in front of her. I didn't sit down. "I saw your messages," I said calmly. Her face froze. "What?" "Last night. Your phone was on the counter. I saw the text from Melissa. So I looked." Her face went pale. "Mom, that's my private. You've been getting child support from Jeffrey and Eric for months. Hundreds of dollars. You told me you weren't getting any money from them." She opened her mouth, but no words came out. "You've been spending that money on yourself. Restaurants, bars, nails, clothes, while I work 2 jobs to buy diapers for your kids." "Mom, I can explain." "No," I said, cutting her off. "I'm done with explanations." I handed her the folder. She opened it slowly. Her hands were shaking. "That's a 30-day eviction notice," I said. "You're not on the lease. You have 30 days to find—" She stood up, crying now. "You're really going to kick out your grandchildren? What kind of grandmother does that?" I looked her straight in the eyes. The kind whose daughter abandoned them the second she realized she could party instead of parent. You chose going out over staying home. You chose new clothes over your kids' school supplies. You abandoned them, Amanda. Not me. She started screaming. "This is insane. You can't do this." "I can. And I am. You have 30 days. I walked out of the room. Behind me, I heard her crying, yelling. But I didn't turn around. The next 30 days were chaotic. Amanda called every relative we had, aunts, uncles, cousins, begging them to take her in. Not one said yes. She posted on Facebook a long post about what a terrible mother and grandmother I was. How I was abandoning my grandchildren. How I was heartless. The post got maybe 10 comments. Most of them were from people who didn't know the full story. So I posted my own response. I shared the screenshots. The texts where she mocked me. The Venmo receipts showed she'd been hiding money. The expense report showed I'd spent $47,000 while she partied. I didn't add any commentary. I just posted the truth. Her post disappeared within an hour. Family members who'd been judging me started reaching out privately. "Barbara, I had no idea. I'm so sorry. We didn't know she was treating you like this. You're doing the right thing." Brandon left after 2 weeks. The second he realized the free ride was over, he packed his stuff and moved back in with his parents. Didn't even say goodbye to Amanda. Amanda finally had to do what she should have been doing all along. She got a job, waitressing at a diner. She found a tiny 2-bedroom apartment across town. She applied for government assistance. She enrolled the twins in daycare. On day 30, she moved out. I helped her pack. Not because I wanted to, but because it needed to be done. The kids cried. Ryan asked why they had to leave Grandma's house. It broke my heart. You'll still see me every Sunday, I promised him. I'll always be here for you. Amanda didn't say a word to me the entire time. When the last box was loaded into her car, she finally looked at me. I hope you're happy, she said bitterly. I'm not happy, I said quietly. But I'm not a sucker anymore either. She drove away. 6 months passed. I didn't hear from Amanda at all. No calls. No texts. Nothing. But I heard about her from other family members. She was working. Actually taking care of her kids. Brandon was completely out of the picture. She started going to therapy. The baby, a little boy she named Benjamin, was born healthy. I sent a card and a gift. She never responded. Then one Sunday morning, my phone rang. It was Amanda. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Hello, Mom. Her voice was quiet, shaky. It's me. I know. Silence. I'm sorry, she said finally. I didn't say anything. You were right, she continued. About everything. I was using you. I was treating you like garbage. I was a terrible daughter and a worse mother. I felt tears burning behind my eyes. I'm working now, she said. 2 jobs, actually. The kids are in daycare and school. It's really hard. I'm exhausted all the time. But I'm doing it. I'm actually doing it. Good, I said quietly. I'm glad. I know I don't deserve it, she said. But can we maybe visit sometime? The kids really miss you. I thought about it for a long moment. The kids can visit every Sunday, I said. You can drop them off at 10 and pick them up at 5. Okay, she said. Thank you. But Amanda, I added firmly, you're not moving back in. Ever. This is a boundary I'm not crossing again. I understand, she said. I wouldn't ask that. Okay. Mom. Yeah. I really am sorry. I know, I said. And I forgive you. But things are different now. I know, she whispered. Thank you. That was 6 months ago. Amanda brings the kids every Sunday now. She's actually parenting them. Working hard. Struggling, yes. But doing it. And me. My life is peaceful again. Quiet. My own. I have my house back. My marriage is back. My sanity is back. Sometimes love means letting people fall so they can learn to stand on their own. I just wish I'd learned that lesson sooner. Here's the truth. When I first read Barbara's story, I wondered if she was being too harsh. But then I saw those text messages. Her own daughter called her a sucker, planning to keep using her forever, spending child support on herself while her mother worked 2 jobs. That's not a daughter who needed help. That's a daughter who was choosing to manipulate. Barbara didn't abandon her grandchildren. She saved herself and forced her daughter to finally grow up. Was she right? Absolutely. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is stop enabling someone's worst behavior. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe. Tell me in the comments, would you have done the same thing? I'll see you in the next one.